Hello, and welcome to Audrey's World. It's me. I'm your host, Audrey Oyer. And what a time to be alive. Well, that's a little bit of a loaded statement right now, but I hope you're having a good day. Wherever you are in your day, good morning, afternoon, night, whatever. I hope this is a little bit of uplift, a little entertainment, because life might be lifey right now, and that's okay. We all go through it. Today is a very fun episode. You get to catch me with one of my good college girlfriends, Maureen Sinko. I promise this season won't just be full of college people, but it's just kind of how the dice rolled these first few episodes. So you get to hear more about life at Xavier. Well, that's just where our paths crossed. That's just where things started. But boy, oh boy, did we evolve. So, you get to learn all about Maureen Sinko's life. We get into today starting your own business, being your own boss. Cool, exciting. We talk about therapy. Very important, very interesting, very cool. So we get into therapy. We also get into astrology, horoscopes. You into that? You hate it? I feel like either fall into one of those buckets. You either love it or you hate it. Thankfully, both of us love it in this case, so we get into that quite a bit. And Moe is moving in with her boyfriend soon, so we get into home renovations, getting prepared to do that, and, just processing life as we go through these milestones and events. So if you are interested in any of those topics, curious about Maureen, or, just along for the ride, welcome, enjoy. That's what we got today. So let's just jump right in. Where are you up in the third floor? Oh my God, how's it coming? Well, I will ask that later, but how's it going so far?
We just literally finished this Monday. So yeah.
Fresh, new. Yay. Well, how the hell are you? It's been a minute.
Just trying to survive here.
Yeah. What's the weather like in Clee right now?
Currently stormy today.
We, at one point, I was like, oh my God, it's snowing. It was raining with a mix of snow, and then 10 minutes later, it was just pure snow. And I was like,
I don't want snow again.
I know. But I think I did this to myself because I kept telling everyone at work this week, especially when it was nice and warm, I kept saying, I'm taking advantage of it while I can, but I know it's not forever. I know we have one more snow in us before it's spring. And literally then 2 days later, it freaking started snowing. So maybe this is it. And if it's the final one, then I'll take it. I'll tolerate it. But I don't know.
So it's you brought it.
I think I cursed it. Yeah. But who knows? Who knows? Well, Mo, I was thinking we could kick off the conversation in a little bit of a different way. And I thought it might be fun to start out with just some rapid fire questions just to try something new. And if it sucks, it's I don't know. But so how does that sound? Okay. What is your coffee order right now?
It is a oat milk latte with honey and cinnamon.
Lovely. Hot?
Either.
Ice?
I go back and forth. Depends on the day.
Great. Do you have a favorite piece of clothing?
Any kind of set where I don't have to think about what I'm putting on. It's already kind of just done for me. All I have to do is pick the set out.
Is this an athletic set or a skirt top set?
Any kind. Loungewear, pants, top, athletic set, all the above.
Lovely. Do we have a go-to color for the sets?
A lot of beige and cream.
Perfect. Sweet or salty? Okay. What avenue? Are pretzels, chips?
Chips, cheeses,
meat?
Goldfish. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Do you have a favorite game?
Right now, I would say probably Mexican Train.
I've heard of it. I don't know if I know that one, though.
It's all dominoes based, basically. I mean, it's not playing dominoes. It's a different kind, but you use dominoes.
Okay. Fun. What's your ideal day?
One that I can have a slow morning, go for a nice long walk outside, sunny out, it's warm, and then I get some good coffee, maybe see some friends, just get to relax and feel peaceful.
I love that. Is there something that makes you feel peaceful?
Being outside for sure. I feel like that's just my go-to when I need to step away from something or I feel stressed, just getting fresh air just kind of takes it away.
Yeah. Mo's a very outdoor sun person. And do you have a favorite breakfast food? I feel like I associate you with breakfast.
Because I love breakfast food. I would say right now a good bagel.
Okay. Do we put any toppings? What's the bagel? Get into your bagel
So
order.
sometimes it's bagel sandwich, egg, cheese, turkey sausage, or I just love a bagel and cream cheese.
Nice. I think this, I mean, I feel like I could pull out at any time at least three serial killer traits about me. I so Chicago's getting like pop-up bagel, which I guess is like a huge thing. The internet loves pop-up bagel, and I was like, I have no desire to even try that. I don't me and bagels, I just like them on like a bagel breakfast sandwich, but outside of that, I could really do without them. And I think that's very
Well,
controversial.
you don't like cream cheese. So I feel like that's part of it.
Yeah.
It just gives the bagel experience.
I did try cream cheese last summer on accident on a bagel. I wasn't a fan. I was hoping I could convert myself, and I didn't. So that was a bit of a
I
bummer.
mean, it's not like it's gonna kill you, so.
Fair, fair. I just want to be a part of the in crowd. Like, I want to know what it's like to love that. But whatever. I guess another reason to make me a little odd. Well, Mo, I love that we did the little rapid fire Q&A to start things off, but we can really get into it now. Would you like to tell the listeners about our origin story? Like, how do we know each other? How did we meet?
So Audrey and I met our freshman year of college at Xavier University.
Hmm.
I lived on the third floor. She lived on the second floor. And I would always mosey on down to the second floor because I thought the girls were cool and I wanted to hang out with them. So I kind of just
Yeah.
inserted myself into their group.
I'm trying to think, was there like a man recent group partner or someone that you knew on the second floor too? Or like,
If I'm being honest, I can't really remember. But I would say classes with like Kelly and Rachel and
Mhm.
Lauren, because of our majors. And so I
Mhm.
kind of feel like how a little bit.
Yeah, I felt like there was, yeah, just a little extra piece
Hmm.
to it. Yeah, you then better like connected
Hmm.
then with our second floor. Oh my gosh, Brockman. Did you know
I
it's gone
did.
now?
It's so sad.
It is so sad. For, yeah, I mean, it was my roommate Lily. Her parents met in Brockman, like, hasn't changed a bit since we were there, and we thought it was old and disgusting when we were there. I mean, it's probably not a bad thing that it's
Probably needed
gone, but
then.
so sad. I hope they can renovate it and maybe make it,
If
but
they like
that's just my
need the
nostalgia.
space, like self students.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so then we formed our little like second floor girls group plus our added friends to it. And like what do you remember from those early days freshman year?
I would say, like, I feel like the thing I remember most is just like hopping around everybody's room. Like, everybody's doors were open. So it was just
Mm,
like, let's go in this room, let's go in that room, let's go down the hall to where the guys are, let's hang out in the
yeah.
little common area. Like, I feel like I just remember like hopping around.
Yeah, and like I remember too, we kind of watched some shows together. Like that was a little bit of a thing that we would do. And yeah, I think especially early days, I can remember like after our first or second weekend of like partying and stuff, all of us were sitting in the hallway on our section of the hallway, just like debriefing. And it like I feel like I mean, I miss a good debrief like that. Like I would do anything to have that consistently in my life again. But yeah, like those activities and things that we were doing. I mean, of course we were studying. Of course we were just trying to like figure out life and like I crying in between like classes and things. And like that's really how we filled our time.
No, I 100% agree.
How crazy.
Yeah.
And like Corrido.
I
And
actually
what
was
was
thinking about
the
that the other day. I was like, I needed a little, I don't know, snack. And I thought about their snack wraps that I used to get all the time.
Yeah. Well, I just remembered it because I saw something about them with Xavier on LinkedIn. LOL, that's how old I am. And, I get my news from LinkedIn. And I was like, wow, I forgot about Corrido. I really liked, yeah, their snack wraps and their
Well,
smoothies, I
you're
remember, were
right.
like a big
Yes, I
hit for
forgot about
me.
their smoothies.
Knockoff Chipotle, but it did
It
the
was
job.
delicious.
Yeah, yeah, it was good. And then what was the coffee shop that we had too? I remember going there a lot. In Smith,
Emporium.
Coffee Emporium.
Coffee Emporium, yes.
Yeah, I still love Coffee Emporium.
That is,
But yeah, those were some of our Cincy favorites.
they were. I miss them.
Xavier, I feel like was in a lot of ways the like classic college experience, but like also different from a state school because we didn't have football. It wasn't like massive, but we were still somehow D1 school, so we had a good basketball season and like good people in our conference, but I felt like it was kind of that like big school but meets small school in a way, and it brought a bunch of its like cute characteristics. I guess, did you feel that way, or like what are your highlights, cons of Xavier?
I would definitely agree. I felt like I had the college experience, but I also feel like it was very different. Like when I hear of other people who went to like a bigger state school, I don't know, like even just Cincinnati down the street from us at Xavier, like it was just so
Mm-hmm.
different. Um, I think part of it just because it was so much smaller.
Yeah, yeah. And Jesuits, you know. What would you say maybe made us close if you had to think about something, either early on or maybe like even now? Are there things that you're like, oh yeah, that's why I like Audrey and I, we were friends because of that?
I feel like the thing we probably first connected the most on was just like being Aries and like our place literally being
Yeah.
4 days apart. That's like a distinct
Yeah.
like thing I just feel like brought us together in the first place. And I was like, yep, this person's gonna be my
Hmm.
friend for sure.
Yeah. Because we had one other too in the group who was her birthday's a day after mine, and then we had Mo. Like it was
Mhm.
the perfect storm.
And I
Oh my
also
gosh.
feel like sophomore year when your whole like roommate debacle happened and like when we lost the one roommate. I don't know, I feel like after that too, just like going in
Hmm.
like you needed out of your room a lot, just like even when she was there. So I feel like just
Hmm.
that was a big part of it too. Just going in and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've honestly, I've talking with everyone like this is really proving that my memory is not as strong as I think it is because I knew I didn't have, or like, so I went into sophomore year intending to have a roommate, and like right at the end of freshman year, it was kind of like that. Roommate decided she wasn't coming back to Xavier the next year, so then I somehow got kind of lucky and just didn't have a roommate for at least the first semester, or like at least the first part of a semester, but I kind of forgot that what that was like. But also I feel like she was never really, I feel like she did her own thing a lot of the time too and like wasn't in the room often, but yeah, there were definitely times where it was just like this is kind of odd. It was a random girl. She was so sweet, so nice, like no qualms against her, but it was just like sorry, the rest of us are like besties and you're here and I don't really know you. So yeah, I'm gonna get
Like
out.
it was just the awkwardness, I feel like.
Mhm.
But then
Mhm.
having to think
Yeah.
like we
Yeah.
probably made her feel very awkward because we were all so close.
For sure. Yeah, that's a hard dynamic to like go into, but whatever. I was thinking, like, what are maybe some of the foundations of Mo and I's relationship? And I definitely think Aries was the first thing I thought too. And we were both like the ones out of the friend group who like gave a shit about that or like were interested in horoscopes and like anything having to do with any like woo-woo-ish thing. So I felt like that was like foundation point of our relationship. I also feel like we would go to the gym a lot together or like we would just kind of I mean, I feel like the friend group would do that a lot too, but I just feel like I remember going with you a lot as
So I feel
well.
like we had the same interests of like what we wanted to do.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, and then we would like walk a lot and do errands and like day-to-day things together too. So yeah, I feel like when I was thinking about especially college early days, like how we got together, those were some of the things I thought of. So how did you get into horoscopes and like the woo-woo side of things? Is there something that you remember one day just like drew you to it, or in like maybe what's your relationship with all of that sort of stuff today?
Completely honest, I don't even know what got me into it. I don't even remember. I think just like knowing it was out there and then like being curious about it and then I just like looked it
Mhm.
up on my own and like got into it and was like, "Oh, this is so cool."
Mhm.
But I feel like there's like moments where I've like been super into it and then moments where I'm like I don't really like think about it. I feel like
Mhm.
lately I've been in one of those like episodes of like learning about it. Like a year ago, I
Mhm.
was so into it. I was like into the like, well, what's your sun and your moon sign and figuring all that out. Like, I want to do my birth chart and like a deeper dive,
It's
like
fun.
into the astrology all around it.
Yeah. 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 That's a good point too. Like, I'm never like all into it. I feel like I'm into it. Then maybe sometimes for me, it gets like too much. I'm like, wow, that is so much information. I can't do that right now. Or like, that's like ringing a little too true. And I didn't want to know that about myself. So then I like step away and then I come back to it and whatnot. I guess, is there something about it is it like a way to maybe better understand yourself and the world and the people in your life? Or is there, I guess, something about it that you're like, oh my gosh, this is why I keep coming back to doing like astrology, or like why I think it's a continued interest for
I
you?
think it's definitely like it brings me a lot of self-awareness. Like I feel like when I was on my own little journey of just like trying to figure out who I am, it just made me feel like understood in ways that I guess I never understood myself. And then it also has helped like just understanding like even my family, like, and their characteristics, or like why they do things that they do.
I guess. I mean, I have a lot of kind of therapy and questions about your job too, but the way you said that, it almost made me think a lot of people, I'm learning more now, like the way that they come off, it's truly so much of the time, in my opinion, I don't know, you can correct me, is like a mask for something, or it's like they're scared, there's a fear, there's something there. And like, even though they're maybe coming off angry, aggressive, or I don't know, like judgy, snippy, like it doesn't have to be super like an intense emotion, but maybe they're just like, I don't know, someone's maybe always a little judgy towards new people or something like that. So, my question is then, I was thinking of those sorts of things. And for you, is it hard to decipher maybe like, oh, is this more of like an astrology thing? Do you think it's more of like a maybe therapy bucket of thing? Or I guess that question, it doesn't really make sense. But when you said like, oh, I could better understand people that way, I guess, have you better understood people through principles of maybe horoscopes and astrology, or more like learning things from therapy, or is it a bit of both?
I'd say the astrology part, like I think it's more of their personality. Like when I know somebody and like their personality, like that, it explains more of that. It's not so much the like, I don't know, when I'm in like a therapy session with a client, like I don't even think about astrology. I don't even think about a horoscope, because they're completely different. And like you said, like a lot of people will have a front on, or they're masking something, or that's why they're showing to be angry, or whatever it is.
Do you think that maybe like astrology, you said, is personality, and then maybe like the behaviors is more of like what you could go back to in therapy? Or am I trying to connect something that's like not connected
I
there?
really thought about it, but I feel like you
Yeah.
could, for sure.
Yeah. I feel like I try to do that, and that's maybe a me thing. Like, I want to find the solution and I like want to get there to just resolve it, but I'm learning that's not always the case. And it's not always a good thing. Like, it's good to be in the middle. It's good to like have it be a little messy and like figure it out along the way. It doesn't have to be so like clean, done, like move on. Okay, so we started talking about therapy a little bit. I guess for context, Mo works in the field and she's started a business. So I have so many questions among all of this, but I want to dip into first just kind of the therapy side of things. So what first got you interested in therapy? And can you tell us just a little bit about maybe the pros that you've seen it in your own life?
I would say, so I always knew that I wanted to do something that was in a helping profession. I always thought like I wanted to be a nurse or something like that. Then college comes around and it's just like totally not for me. So I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do, but knew I wanted to work with kids and I wanted to help. So it really wasn't, I think, until I had like my own stuff after college that I was going through and needed to work through, and went on this very like just kind of finding myself, a little bit of a journey. And I was working with somebody, and it just seeing how much it helped me, I wanted to do the same for other people. It was just like very inspiring to me. I always thought I just wanted to work with kids, and so that's how I kind of started it out as. And I was a school counselor for a long time. That was not for me, and so I'm doing more of like the clinical side of everything, and I like it so much more.
Good. That's something. Mo is a hard worker. Mo has been like head in the books, just grinding to get where she is now. And it's so amazing to see that all of this hard work is putting you in a spot where you want to be with it all, but it hasn't, like, there's so many learning lessons and milestones along the way too in what you've done and in your job. Like, I can't imagine how maybe rewarding some days are, how frustrating some days are. And I mean, it's just a whole, I feel like, mixed bag of like your day to day coming out of that. And I don't know how anyone does it. Like, I know when I was in therapy, literally, like the shit we were talking about, and then it's 1 hour, and then boop, on to the next client. And there was one time, and this is where I was like, holy shit, your job. I always knew it was hard, intense, inspiring in a lot of ways. But literally, one time I got a message from my therapist before, like, I'm so sorry, I'm going to be a few extra minutes late today. Someone is truly having like an all out mental health crisis in the session before you. And then I'm like, holy shit. Then she just like turns around 2 minutes later, I'm sure, like does a little decompression thing for herself or whatever. And then just like, boom, right into then my session where we probably talked about something so stupid and like so like not important. But how do you do that? How do you go from like one session to another and then live your life after that?
It's a really good question, because sometimes I ask myself that sometimes. I'm like, how do I just like go through it? Like, I guess you come a point in it where you just get so used to it. Like, I mean, I remember at the beginning of like becoming a therapist and like in my internships, like I would have a hard time hearing super emotional things that like I felt like I needed to cry. And now I'm like numb to it. Like doesn't even faze me. So I think it's just like, I don't know. I think the one thing I always say is everybody has a story, and I'm just sitting there and I'm listening to their story, and I'm just here to coach them through it, give them like coping skills. And I think it's a lot of like the perspective you have around it. Because if I was to sit there and get so invested, like emotionally with my clients, it would make it 10 times harder. Not that I'm not invested, I'm invested in them.
But you have to detach a little bit or else it would crumble you.
It's just like you have to have, it's all about boundaries too. And like I've learned I can only handle like 3 to 4 people in a row, and then like I mentally need a break. And I have to at least have like, if I'm going to have more people after that, I have to have an hour in between I go into like the afternoon or something.
Yeah, knowing what you need in that, I'm sure, is huge, and being able to have the boundary to stick to that. Yeah, and I guess at first too, when you were still navigating that and you were still like maybe getting a little bit more attached than what you learned you needed to detach from, was there anything that you would do? Like, would you go on walks? I don't know. Was there something that you would do to shake yourself out to then go home and maybe not bring that with you, or was even that hard?
If I was still at work, and I still do this, like I just like I make sure I get out of my office, like removing myself just like from that environment, whether it's walking around the building or walking outside, or if I know I need gas in my car, like okay, I'll just drive down the street and I'll go put gas in my car. Just like the smallest little thing, just to get me out and feel like just kind of like washing it all away.
Yeah, change your scenery can get you out of something so fast like that. And I guess too, has there ever been something that maybe rung a little true with like your experiences in your life that someone was talking about? And in that, like, I catch at work when someone's talking about their career path or something like this. I literally did this earlier this week. I was talking to someone about a career path, and she was saying, well, Audrey, you know, I want to do this and this and this, and like I'm trying to not do this as often, but like just be like, oh my god, I had something so similar, so like this is what I did. Like, but I feel like you can't do that in your job. So how do you navigate, or do you kind of just after building a certain type of relationship with someone admit to that sort of thing, or like how do you go about that?
So it kind of depends where you are at, like you said, like after you've been working with someone for a little while, because I think once you've built that relationship also, like I think it's good for them to see like I'm not just this like perfect person sitting here that knows everything. Like I have my
Mm-hmm.
own stuff that goes on. I've also been through stuff, which is why I'm here. I think it's good for them to see that because, and especially like I have a lot of like young adult clients, and obviously I've been through a lot of the stuff that they've been through. So sometimes I think
Mm-hmm.
they just need a heater that like, okay, I too have been in your place, and like this is what I did. Not saying that that's what's going to help you, but this is how it helped me. Give it a shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I loved when my therapist would show anything, any of her cards. I was like, yes, tell me everything. Yeah, because like you're human too. And like, I don't know, it can be helpful sometimes. Or just, yeah, like you said, just knowing, like for me, I'm spilling my guts out to you if you could just do a little solid and like share a little something too
Exactly. And like,
sometimes.
I don't know, you'll sit there sometimes and you go, I feel like nothing is getting through, or we have exhausted everything. And it's like we're going in circles. And sometimes that's when I will just bring out like my own experience, and it just totally changes the topic. Or,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love asking. I mean, I will always ask you about like life as a therapist and like what you do because I think it's so interesting. I think like I think it's such an important, helpful job, but the emotional side and things are like clearly I can't get over that side of it. But I guess too, it's like you're so involved with so many different people, so many different age ranges, so many different backgrounds and things. So like, have you ever run into anyone in the wild, any of your clients in the wild, and what's that
no,
like?
I still have yet to ever run into somebody. Like, it
I hope
blows
I
my
don't jinx you
mind.
like I jinxed the
Like, I don't know
snow.
how, but I have yet for that to happen. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, good for you. Do you have a game plan going into it, like what you would do? Or no?
Not really. I feel like it'll just be based on like kind of reading whatever, seeing that client and reading into like how they're acting. If they're totally like turning their back and like you can tell they're like, I see you, but I don't want to acknowledge this, and like I'm just gonna ignore it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or like, I mean, I imagine the setting is important too. Like if you're, I mean, I know we don't go clubbing, but like if you're out at a bar or
Yeah,
something
that
like
too.
that, like, and you see one of those people, like I feel like that might change the way you go about it too. Or if you're like the one turning your back, then. Oh my God. Okay, so you've been doing this for a few years now, and tell us about the journey, all the steps to becoming your own boss and like being the entrepreneur that you stage that you're in now.
Yeah, it was a long road, let me tell you. A lot of school, a lot of just grinding and knowing, like in the back of my head, like I knew what I wanted my endpoint to be. Just like always reminding myself that like I have to go through the growing pains to get to where I want to go. It's like in any career, like you got
Mm-hmm.
to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So after school, like I said, I became a school counselor, did that for a little while, did the clinical mental health part time, then left the schools and started doing it full time. And you have to have like a certain amount of hours and everything. So once I hit those hours, I took my independent license test, which was last summer. Um, and then, like, once you have your independent license, like, you're good to just, if you want to go on your own, you can go on your own. You can stay where you are. Thank God for COVID and this, that, like, it has made it really easy for therapists to go on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I knew that's what I wanted to do all along. And I just said, I'm just going to do it. Like, I'm not going to wait around. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
was scared out of my mind to do it. But
Yeah.
I was like, it's never not going to be scary. So I'm just going to go for it. And I was at a point where I
Mm-hmm.
really needed a change in my job and where I was at. I was like, I don't necessarily want to just go look for another agency or private practice. So that's where we're at.
It's amazing. I'm so proud of you because it is something that you have always said you wanted to do, no matter what. Like, I can remember even in college, like, you weren't sure how that might look or like in what kind of realm, but that's something you've always wanted. So I love that you can do that now and explore it. But you're so right. It's never going to be a perfect time to do it. You're always going to be scared to do it. There's always going to be, hesitations or whatnot to try something new, to change. But oh my gosh, when you made the decision, was it a relief or was it like an even more shit?
It was a
Like,
lot of oh shits.
Yeah.
and just be like, oh my God, can I actually do this? And like, you get in your head about it.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, I had to put kind of like my own counselor hat on and be like, all right, if this is one of my clients, what would I be telling them? And I was like, I need to do the same for
Yeah.
myself.
Mm-hmm. Damn. That's so true. Like we can get in our own way sometime, a lot of times. So I love that you were able to change that for yourself and yeah, put your needs first and try that out. So I guess when you're like starting your own business, again, I have so many questions about this. I could have a whole episode with you on just this part. But what are some of the first things you looked at? Like, were you looking at, I need to talk to my clients, I need to do this and this and this, or like, I need to get an LLC? Or was that more not the first things you thought about? And was it more like something else?
The first thing was honestly just applying for the LLC, just doing
Mm-hmm.
that piece. And like, there's so much just like tedious little things that you have to do. And like that honestly took me months to do.
Yeah.
And then a huge part of it too was like telling my clients. Like that took a long time because you obviously not everybody goes with you when you switch. And making sure like I was giving people a good amount of time to like whether it was finding someone new or if they were just totally like I'm in a good enough spot, like I'm not gonna do therapy anymore. It's just like making sure I gave ample amount of time for all that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And then what's like a day in your life right now look like compared to what it was like before?
Every day is different. I don't really have like I mean I get to make my own schedule, which I was able to before.
Mm-hmm.
Every time like during the day, like there'll be like some heavy nights or some early mornings, maybe
Mm-hmm.
some late mornings. Like for example, today I had all virtual all morning long, and then I was totally done by 1 o'clock. That was my day.
Yeah. Awesome.
Some days it's like I have a few in the morning and then I have a few in the evening. So like I have a huge chunk of time during the day. Or it might be like I have the whole morning off and then
Mm-hmm. That's kind of nice. Do you like that?
I like having like I think the one thing about this job is it's so nice to not have the same thing every single day. Like, it's kind of nice to just have that like
Mm-hmm.
there's definitely days where I'm like, do I really like want this big break during the day and have to be there till 7 o'clock at night? No.
Yeah.
It's not every day.
Right. Yeah, I feel like that's nice. And I mean, yeah, it's different. I wonder if that's an Aries thing. Like I cannot do the same thing all the time. And even though I have my little routines, like I'm kind of in the process of changing some of my routines, which I think I very much need, but sometimes it's hard for me to know I need that change or like to make
I'm right
that
there with you on that one.
pivot.
I'm trying to change some of that too.
It's like it's so funny to me. Like why is it so hard?
I
Or
know.
like what's the hang up?
I know.
I don't know. I don't get it. So yeah, I guess I'd love to hear from you. What are some things that you find yourself are so Aries? Since we both feel very strongly about this being our sun sign, like let's get into it. What are the things that you feel are so Aries about yourself or that you love that you're tied to Aries for?
I literally hate being told no.
Yeah.
And if you say I can't do something, that makes me even more mad, which I feel like is a very Aries thing. And just like it's how you light the
Definitely.
fire.
And how does that fire when it's lit look like for you?
It's funny because I don't get super angry like you would think like fire. You know, like someone's getting really angry. I shut down. Like I get quiet and I like won't talk or sometimes I can be passive aggressive, which I don't like. I don't like that about myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I asked that because I too am like, I do feel like I notice myself getting like fiery in some of those ways, but it's not that like aggressive, I'm going bulldoze down everything. I might feel that internally, but I feel like, yeah, when you hear Aries or you hear that, you think it's just like, oh my God, telling everyone off. Or, yeah, I feel like the misconception is that it's like, oh my God, everyone will know exactly how I feel. I'll be telling them off, like I'll be screaming at them. And yeah, I know both of us, that's
No,
not how we
not at
go
all.
about it, but we have those feelings, but it's just shown differently. Are there any other like very Aries or other tendencies in the other parts of your chart where you're like, that's me, spot on?
I'm definitely like just kind of a go-getter for sure. Like I'm gonna do what I want to do kind of a thing. which I guess goes hand in hand to the like, you're not going to tell me no.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like there's also a lot of me that isn't a true Aries. Like there are parts of me that is, but I think there's a lot of me that isn't. Like the
Yeah. What's your rising sign? Do you know? Okay, yeah.
Virgo, that's what it is.
Mo, that makes so much sense. My
Yeah,
God.
Like, be organized,
You're a Cancer moon?
analytical, like reserved. I feel like that's a
Yeah. Such a Virgo. You know, guys, there was the like, do you remember the mom cars where it was like a black mom
Yeah.
car, or like Mo is a white mom's car? That is her definition.
For
Like
sure.
clean, nice, like beige,
Yeah.
creamy, light colors. That's you. That's
Uh-huh.
so you. It connected something for me. I don't understand you any better. I still know you just as well, but oh my God. Wow, I love that for you. I love that for you. Okay, a few more questions from me before we get into really.
Yes.
You are in the process of moving in with your boyfriend right now, but in order to do that, you're doing a lot of work to do there. So, like, out of the graciousness of your heart, Mo is helping with all of the home renos. So, can you tell us about some of the projects you've done, what's been rewarding, and just like maybe tell us about that side of things?
Now, I can't take a ton of credit because Connor, my boyfriend, has done a majority of it. I have been a helper with painting, but like
That's great.
so he bought a duplex, and so it has 3 floors. So like the first floor is like the same as the second floor, but the second floor also gets the third floor, which is just like basically a bonus space. And so that's where a lot of the work came, was doing that third floor. But we also had to completely just paint everything. So like we had to paint the entire second floor, we had to paint the entire first floor. We did that within like 3 to 4 weeks that we had. It was like a very tight turnaround because we had a renter coming in for the first floor. So we had to get the second floor done, then paint the first floor, make sure that all was ready, finish all the like updates or little things that just like have to be done. And then we started the third floor where we ripped up the carpet, we were putting down, but wood floors were being put down. We made one half of it a closet, so we were building a closet in there. And then the other half of the third floor is like kind of like a flex room. It's Connor's office, has a little living space, workout area. So yeah, definitely learning.
I bet. I bet. Is Connor then doing all of the work? Like, is there a contractor or someone coming in, or has he literally done like all of that himself?
He's taught himself how to do it.
That's insane.
Thank you, too.
Oh my God.
I know.
Whoa. Couldn't be me.
And we still got more to do, so stay tuned.
It's not done yet. Okay, what's it like getting ready to move in with someone? I've never lived with a partner before, so is it like, is it just like, are you guys so giddy? Is it so exciting? Or what are the vibes? How are you feeling?
I've never lived with a partner either, so it's all new to me.
Mm-hmm.
I would say it's still very exciting. However, I think we were much more excited at the initial, like, oh, we have the house, and like, this is so exciting because like, yay, we finally are gonna move in with each other, yada yada yada. Well, the work really like takes it out of you. Hard labor is not easy. So I think it's still obviously very exciting. It's almost just like, all right, let's just like get this done.
Yeah. There's like things that need to happen before that, and that's all you're seeing right now. It's like, yeah, you're in the weeds of it, and like that just needs to happen before you move in, right? That's kind of how it sounds.
Kind of like a limbo phase now of like, it's so close. And I mean, yeah, like now I will start moving more of my stuff because now that like we have the big stuff done, we can organize and like we don't have to move all like one room to another room, and like space can definitely like work on it more, which is exciting. But it's also like, okay, finally, like we've been waiting for this.
Yeah. I'm sure it will be so fun. And yeah, quite the relief once you can actually settle in and, get comfortable.
Yes.
Yeah. There are things that need to be done. So I guess we'll just have to do another episode once you move in and we can report back and get the update then. But you're in such a fun part of life right now. Like, you're about to move in with your boyfriend. You're helping him update a house, which has to feel very, I imagine, like permanent, or like that in itself is a huge move and milestone in your relationship. You started your own business. Like, does life feel that like juicy and delicious and like, oh my God, this is what I've been working for towards? Or is it like, how does it feel being in the midst of all of that?
I honestly feel like it hasn't really hit me.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went on my own, I left my job, my previous job, in December and started like working for myself, like basically at the first of the year. And that is the exact time that we started doing everything with the house. And so I don't even know if I really got to process it, like, because everything just happened at once. And we were on such a time crunch that, like, my stress was solely just the house and, like, getting it ready for the renter to move in. But also, like, trying to get our space ready. And so, yeah, like, I mean, talking about it is like, gosh, I should just feel so, like, rich in life. But I think it hasn't totally hit.
And I mean, when those things happen, yeah, it either takes time for that to like sink in, or it's never as you imagined it would. It never looks exactly how you pictured it in your head. So, like, sometimes that takes time to digest everything too. I guess because of that, with everything still going on and like it's still early days with that, do you just feel like you have a running to do list of everything at all times and like your head's just kind of going, going, going? Or are you maybe too tired from all the hard labor that sometimes you're just like, there's nothing there. I'm done. I'm
Well,
dead.
unfortunately, my brain does not ever stop. I always have thoughts going, there's always something to be done. But I think I've been like that my
Yeah.
whole life. Like, there's just always something going on in my head. So I feel like I've
Mhm.
just had like there's always something to be stressed about, or there's always something to worry about, or, so yeah, I haven't really shut it down.
Fair. Well, I am just so excited to see what happens. And I hope at some time in the next few months you can sit back, relax, and see the progress and what has happened. But it takes some time. And life's. So,
Exactly.
shit happens, shit gets in the way. Maybe that won't happen for a while, but, you're doing
Well,
great, Mo.
thank you.
So hope you
Thank you.
know that. Yeah. Well, this is Audrey's world. And, there's a component to Audrey's world that is just dreamy. I like to think of this as like, let's take a break from reality now. We got to know Mo, we got to know a little bit what's going on in her life, but like, where's she dreaming? Like, what's the fantasy going on? So, to even start, do you like to daydream, or what's your relationship like with daydreaming or coming up with dream worlds?
I feel like I daydream all the time. Like, I'm such a futuristic thinker anyway, that like I love to
Mm-hmm.
daydream of like, gosh, like what can life look like? Like, what would, if I wasn't doing this, like what would I be doing? Or just like those kinds of
Mm-hmm.
thoughts even. It's like I feel
Yeah.
like I just naturally daydream in a way. I mean, I think it's like kind of fun. Like, you get to be creative, you get to use your
Yeah.
imagination. Like, when you're an adult, you
Yeah.
don't really get the opportunity to do that much.
Yeah, it's like a form of play almost. And like, yeah, it's that creativity. And it can be a place where like you can see how good it gets. I had a distinct memory when you were saying that. I feel like a lot of our relationship actually has been just like, oh my God, what if this happens? Or like daydreaming, or driving around in your
Yeah.
car and just like looking at houses, like thinking about what those lives would be like, like picturing daydreams for other people, for ourselves. Like, I do feel like yeah, I feel like we've done a lot of
Yeah,
daydreaming
we
together.
have. You're so right. Like, I forgot about those moments.
I know, right? Like, yeah. And I don't know. I feel like that's like almost every girl. I mean, not to get like super feels, I don't know, deep or whatever, dark. But I feel like fairy tales are just read to little girls and it's like, here's the daydream. So I feel like no matter what, like girls are always fantasizing and
Yeah.
daydreaming a lot because that's kind of all we were taught. That's like what all of us know. But it's still fun. Like, I mean, I think we all still get joy
Yeah.
out of it. So yeah, I love that. But what are you daydreaming of? What's the dream world consist of these days?
I would say a lot, and I think this is, I mean, I've always wanted this, but a lot of my daydreams have just been like, put me on a beach somewhere, because this cold weather and like I can't stand it. Like, I'm dreaming of like a little beach condo. I can go to my little place and nobody can bother me, and it's warm and I'm not cold, and I can take my walks, get my good coffee.
I'm laughing so hard because there are some of these dream worlds where I'm like, yes, of course, that is what you are daydreaming of. That is your dream world, and that's so Mo. Like I can't. The setting is a beach. The setting is somewhere very warm and like chill.
Yes. I would also say
I
I'm
love that.
daydreaming of just like kind of futuristic stuff. Like, what do I want to do with my business? Like, what do I want out of it? There's so many ways I could take it. And just like, you kind of just fantasize like different things that can happen.
That's fun. I like that. Yeah, it's your early days. Like, where can we take this? What could this look like? Like, it doesn't have to look like one thing, or maybe taking what you didn't like about other workplaces and things and changing it up for the hell of it. Like, how awesome. I love that daydream for you. That's so fun. Yeah, daydreaming, I feel like it's like gives hope in a lot of ways, outside of just being creative and maybe like the play side of it and stuff. Like, sometimes I feel like it just gives us some
Yeah,
hope of what could happen. And that's
it is.
amazing.
I think you can also bring like, I don't know, self-awareness to yourself of like, oh, is that like fantasizing about something or like thinking about something and the reality of it could be true. So it can be like eye-opening.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that self-realization from it. Back to your daydream though. Would would the beach life, would you want that part-time, full-time? Would we bring the business to the beach? Like, what are we thinking that? Or is it just like a little getaway spot? I want to hear more about the dream.
Some days it's yeah, I want that to be permanent. And there's some days where it's like, no, I just want that to be like my little getaway. Like when I need a break from life, like that's where I go and like go to my like peaceful place. But I feel like in all honesty though, like I lean more towards it being like an everyday thing.
I could see that. It'd be nice. Is there like something about it too? Because you've always loved the idea of that. And like, is it just the proximity to the beach? Or I guess when you think of the beach, is it like grounding, healing, like that sort of thing? Or is it more just like because you haven't had it before, it just sounds like life would be a vacation or
I would
a mix of both?
say I think it'd be more of like because I find like so much peace being by water. Um, so it's like that grounding and healing. It honestly like brings me energy. Um, and like if I was to live like full time near a beach, like I wouldn't have to be right on the beach. I just need to be close enough where it's like easy to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that. It does sound so dreamy and it's very Mel.
That's very
Well, we're not at the beach. We're looking at snow and rain come down. um, so because, that's a little bit of a bummer, I like to ease our transition back to reality by maybe saying like a small win or maybe what's some like good news recently that you've had that we maybe could celebrate to just remind us that reality doesn't totally suck, even though sometimes it seems like it does.
I would say I feel like my small win is honestly, I kind of said earlier, like trying to change my morning and like evening routines. For me, I truly need to be off my phone more. So like I have been trying in just the last few weeks. I haven't been perfect at it, but I did really well like a week ago of just waking up and I would journal. It's not picking up my phone right away. Like I was trying to just kind of like have almost like a grounding morning. Just like trying to start my day off, not with a screen in my face.
I love that. Yeah, it's really nice that you can do that for yourself. And it sounds like you've noticed a difference too, like throughout your day after doing
No,
that.
definitely.
Yeah. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, that could be something I could do better of. I go in
Yeah,
waves, but it's
it
hard.
is.
It's hard. So good for you. Proud. Claps for Mo. Yay. Look at her go. That's amazing. Well, yay. Well, there's so much exciting in your life and good, but life's still life sometimes. So we'll be there for the journey of it all. But what a fun time to just get a little glimpse, a little sliver into Maureen Sinko's life.
Thank you. This is fun.
Mo, it means a lot that you did this. So thank you so
Thank you
much
for
for
having
taking
me.
time out of your
It was an
day
honor.
to chat.
And
And that's Maureen's world. Or Mo's world. Mo goes by either. And that's the episode. Did you like it? I hope you did. I think it was very fun, like learning all of those things. And of course, that's just like the tip of the iceberg. I'm literally here after the fact and I'm like, oh my gosh, we could have talked about this. Oh, I wish we got more into that. Like, I wish we would have talked more about, something else, but that's just usually how the cookie crumbles, as they say. So that's the conversation. Who knows? We could have her back and we can get into some of those topics we missed out on this time around. So until then, Maureen, we'll get you back. But if you are in the Cleveland area and you are looking for a therapist, maybe want to recommend a therapist, or, just want to have it in your back pocket, your girl, Maureen, you can find her at Shift Counseling and Wellness Practice, or you can go to her website, shiftcwp.com for more. So check her out if you are in the area looking for a therapist, want to support a local business in one way or another. Check it out. You can go to her for that. But I really appreciate your love and support. Even just by listening, you're supporting me. But if you would like to do a little bit more, I would be very, very gracious, very, very honored if you wanted to. But we're on your terms. You can like, rate, review, subscribe, or follow wherever you're listening or watching the podcast. So I'm on Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio, and YouTube. Yes, I do it all. I'm not only an audio girl, also a visual girl. And if you like those visuals, you can also find me on social medias on TikTok and Instagram. I don't only just rot on those sites, I also produce some content sometimes. So be on the lookout. You can follow me on all of those things at Oddrey's World, ODDREY. And if you would like to continue to support even more, like, would you want to be a guest? Do you know someone who would want to be a guest or you think would be a good guest? Reach out, DM me, email me, whatever you got to do. But I'd be down. So if you're interested, let me know. So that's that. I sincerely appreciate you, love you, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Bye.